Have you ever felt that a secret was so big, so heavy, it could break a family apart? Today, we are not just telling a tale. We are opening a locked box of pride, deception, and a shocking twist that nobody saw coming. This is the story of a mother-in-law who threw the party of a lifetime, a party that cost over $10,000, using her daughter-in-law's credit card. But here's the thing. She had no idea what that card truly was. And when the truth came out, it didn't just ruin a party, it changed a whole village forever. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Welcome to African Moonlight Tales, the home of real, heartfelt African folk tales brought to life. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know whenever we share a new story. Also, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. In a village where the houses stood close like a family, and the rivers sang a song of ancient times, lived a young woman named Nala. Nala was known for her kindness. Her smile could chase away a sad mood, and her hands were always busy making something beautiful. She was married to a good man, Kofi, and they were happy. Their happiness was a warm fire that kept the cold away. Kofi's mother, Mama Rose, was the head of their family. She was a woman of strong will and a loud voice. Mama Rose loved her children, but she also loved something else, something she kept hidden deep in her heart. She loved to be the best. She wanted her family to be known not just for being good, but for being grand. She wanted to throw the biggest parties, wear the brightest clothes, and have everyone talk about her generosity. This desire was a small, sharp stone in her heart, always pushing her to do more, to have more. One afternoon, a letter arrived from Nala's uncle, who lived far away in a land of high buildings and fast cars. The letter held a small, thin card, a piece of plastic with a shiny number. The uncle's words were a secret promise. He explained that this card was a gift for Nala and Kofi. But it was no ordinary gift. It was a seed that would one day grow into a great tree. The uncle said the card was not for spending on small things. It was for a very big, very important project. He said he would call them soon to explain everything. Until then, they were to guard this card with their lives. It was a test of their patience and their wisdom. Nala and Kofi felt a great excitement. They held the card and whispered about their dreams. Maybe it was a well for the village. Maybe it was a school for the children. They did not know, but the card was a promise of a bright future. They kept it safe, hidden in a small box away from prying eyes. But Mama Rose, with her sharp eyes and even sharper ears, saw everything. She saw the letter arrive. She saw the secret looks between Nala and Kofi. She saw the small, shiny card, a thing of power she had never seen before. Her heart, that hungry place for admiration, began to ache. Why would they keep a secret from me, she thought. I am a mother. I am the head of this family. If there is a gift of great power, should it not be for me to use to bring honor to all of us? The little sharp stone in her heart grew bigger. She watched Nala and Kofi like a hawk. She waited for the perfect moment. One day, Nala left her box of treasures open for just a second. It was all the time Mama Rose needed. With a quick, silent hand, she took the card. Her heart beat fast, not with guilt, but with the thrill of a secret plan. She put the card in her own pocket. She did not see the trusting heart she had just broken. She only saw the grand party she would soon be known for. She was sure this card was her destiny, the tool she needed to finally become the greatest woman in the village. But she was wrong. She was very, very wrong. Mama Rose did not wait for a single moment. The next morning, she went to the village center. Her voice was like a trumpet call, full of pride and joy. She announced to everyone that a great celebration was coming. My children, my dear Kofi and Nala, have been blessed, she boomed. And I, their loving mother, We'll throw them a party so grand it will be talked about for years to come. She then began to spend the money. She used the shiny card like a key to a great treasure chest. She bought sacks of the finest rice, and she did not haggle. She bought plump chickens and a fat, spotted goat. She hired not one, but 2 teams of musicians. She bought expensive cloth from the city to decorate the whole village square. The cost of everything was so much that it was whispered it must be over $10,000. The villagers looked on in wonder and amazement. "Mama Rose has done it again," they all said. "What a truly generous woman." Nala and Kofi watched from a distance, their stomachs twisting into knots. They had looked for the card. They had turned their hut upside down. They were filled with a terrible fear. Nala saw Mama Rose with the musicians, holding the shiny card in her hand. Her heart fell to the ground. She knew. Kofi went to his mother, his face a mix of fear and anger. "Mother," he said quietly, "where did you get the money for all this?" Mama Rose smiled her grandest smile. "My son, your mother knows how to provide. Is it not a good thing? Look at the joy. This is for you, for Nala, for our family's name." But Nala and Kofi knew this was not joy. It was a shadow. They knew the card was not meant for this. They remembered the promise of their uncle, the test of their wisdom. They knew that Mama Rose had not only broken their trust, but she had used something she did not understand. They felt a deep dread. They tried to talk to her, to tell her the card was not what she thought, but Mama Rose would not listen. She was too lost in the beautiful music of her own fame. The day of the party arrived. It was magnificent. The food was plenty, the music was loud, and the palm wine flowed. Mama Rose sat in the center, a queen on her throne of pride. She smiled and waved, accepting the praise of the villagers. The party lasted all night, but as the sun began to set, casting long shadows, Nala and Kofi looked at each other. They did not dance. They did not eat. They felt the heavy weight of a secret they knew would soon be known to all. The party was not a celebration. It was a countdown. The morning after the party was silent. The village square was a mess of leftover food and broken chairs. The great noise of celebration was gone, replaced by the quiet sound of shame. Mama Rose woke up, feeling tired but happy. Her head was full of the praises she had received. She was now the most respected woman in the village, she thought. But Nala and Kofi were not happy. They were waiting. They had a plan. They had found the card again, now lying carelessly on a small table in Mama Rose's hut. Nala held it in her hand, her fingers tracing the shiny numbers. She knew the secret of the card. She and Kofi had talked all night, their fear turning into a quiet strength. Mama Rose was sitting and sipping her morning tea when they walked in. She smiled at them. "My children, the party was a success. We are now the talk of the whole village." Kofi did not return the smile. His voice was low and serious. "Mother, we need to talk. About the card. What is there to talk about?" Mama Rose said, waving her hand. "It was money for joy, money for our family's honor." "It was not money, Mother," Nala said, her voice shaking but firm. "It was a loan with a very big rule." Mama Rose's smile froze. Her face turned pale. "A loan? What do you mean, a loan? Your uncle sent it as a gift." "No, Mother," Nala said. "He sent it as a loan to the whole village, and we were to decide how to use it. The card was not a key to a treasure chest. It was a key to a terrible debt, a debt that must be paid back." Mama Rose stood up, her teacup clattering on the table. "Paid back? Paid back to who? And how? The money is all gone." Her voice was high with panic. The joy of the party was now a bitter memory. The village's praise felt like a cruel joke. "The debt is not paid with money, Mama Rose," Kofi said, his eyes filled with a deep sadness. "The debt is paid with honor." Mama Rose stared at her son, confused. She did not understand. What could be more important than money? What debt of honor could be worse than a debt of gold? But Nala and Kofi knew. They knew the terrible secret of the card, and they knew the punishment for breaking its promise. The sun had risen on a day of reckoning, but the truth was still a ghost in the shadows. The real horror of her actions was yet to be revealed. The truth came not from Kofi and Nala, but from a loud, ringing sound in the village square. It was the sound of a phone call from Nala's uncle in the far-off land. The whole village gathered to hear the call, curious about the great party and the rich uncle. The uncle's voice came over the speaker, loud and clear. "Nala, my dear child, I have heard about the great party. I'm so happy for you. But now, let's talk about the well. The new well for the village." A hush fell over the crowd. The smiles of the villagers slowly disappeared. They looked at each other, confused. Mama Rose felt a cold sweat on her forehead. She stood in the middle of the crowd, trapped. "What well?" The uncle's voice continued. "The money on the card was not for you. It was a loan for the village. The money was to be used to buy tools and to pay workers to dig a new well. A well that would bring clean water and make life easier for all of you. The loan was to be paid back, not with money, but with a promise. A promise that whoever used the card would be the caretaker of the well for the next 5 years. They would be in charge of making sure everyone had water, that the well was clean, and that the village prospered. The silence that followed was deafening. The villagers turned their heads slowly, all looking at Mama Rose. She had not only spent the money on a party of pride, she had also taken away the village's chance at a new well. Her great celebration was not an act of love, but an act of selfishness. The honor she had so desperately sought was now a heavy chain around her neck. The uncle's voice came again, softer this time. The honor of caring for the village, Nala, was the true gift. But it seems someone else has taken on that responsibility. Mama Rose felt the eyes of everyone on her. The people who had praised her yesterday now looked at her with a mix of anger and disappointment. The children who had run to greet her now looked away. She had not paid for the party with money. She had paid for it with the honor of her family, with the goodwill of her village, and with the gift of a new well. The great and terrible twist of the magic card was revealed, and in that moment, Mama Rose was not a queen on her throne. She was a woman who had lost everything. Mama Rose walked back to her hut. The path felt long and heavy. The air felt thick with the silence of her shame. The villagers did not shout at her. They did not throw stones. Their silence was worse than any noise. She had wanted to be great, but she had become nothing. The grand party was a distant dream, and the reality was a new debt, a debt of honor. Nala and Kofi, with the support of the village elders, came to her. They did not come with anger, but with a quiet strength. "Mother," Kofi said, "the well must be dug. It is a responsibility you have taken on." The uncle's promise was a gift. It was a chance to bring our village together. We will not let this chance be lost. Mama Rose looked at her hands, the same hands that had held the shiny card. She thought of her pride, the sharp stone in her heart. She thought of the party, the loud music, the empty praise. All was gone. She finally understood. True honor was not found in a great party. It was found in service, in hard work, in giving to others. Mama Rose, humbled and shamed, began to work. She did not wear her bright clothes anymore. She wore a simple cloth and worked with a hoe in her hands. She called the men and women of the village together. She told them her story, not with pride, but with a quiet voice full of sorrow. She asked for their forgiveness and their help. Slowly, the villagers began to help. They saw Mama Rose not as the proud woman she once was, but as a woman who had learned a painful lesson. They dug the well together, side by side, a true village family. Mama Rose worked harder than anyone. She did not seek praise. She did not want fame. She just wanted to do what was right. And when the well was finished with the cool, clear water flowing, the villagers did not cheer. They simply looked at each other and smiled. They did not call Mama Rose a great woman, but they called her something better. They called her mother, and they meant it with all their hearts. Mama Rose had finally found the honor she had always wanted, not by spending a lot of money, but by giving all she had, and in that she was truly great. The story of the party became a lesson for the whole village, that the greatest treasure is not found in a shiny card, but in a humble heart. Thank you for watching this powerful story. If it touched your heart, please give it a like and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe for more emotional and inspiring African folk tales.